Musically.
Hello and welcome to Relationship Soup. I'm your host, Lisa Hughes. How y'all doing today? Happy Wednesday, happy Wednesday, happy Wednesday. How's your week going? Y'all having a good week? I hope you are. My week is good. I can't really complain. I really can't complain. It's been some good things. I'm tired of this rain though. Well, no. I feel blessed for the rain. Okay. So anyway, all right. Oh, hey, Nairi. Thanks for joining me tonight. I appreciate you. I hope you are having a wonderful week. All right, y'all. So, of course, I have another wonderful show lined up for tonight. Another dynamic guest, and he's very familiar. So, it may seem like a little deja vu. But before I get into it, I have to do my shameless plugs. So, Father's Day is coming up. Make sure that you're going to relationshipsoup.com and checking out our greeting cards because we have some really dope greeting cards for Father's Day or for any holiday or occasion. Hey, James, how are you? Thanks for joining me. So definitely do that. And if you are not liking, subscribing, sharing, please do. Go to Relationship Soup Group to join our forum. And then on YouTube is Relationship Soup, period. Then on IG, we're Relationship Soup. Okay. So now that I got all of that out of the way, now this guest is dynamic. His name is Chino. He goes by Chino. You all have seen him before. And we're going to chop it up about some things tonight. We're going to talk about some stuff going on in the Relationship Soup group. So make sure that you join in that forum too, so that you can stay on top of all the stuff we be talking about in there, right? And so we're going to talk about that. And we're going to continue the conversation about rejection because we kind of got into it last week, but it was cut a little short. So we're going to get into that today, right? So let me go ahead and bring Chino on. Hi, Chino. How are you?
Hello. Thank you for the intro. I'm dynamic. Oh,
Oh, you ain't know? You ain't know?
no, good. It's good to be back on Relationship Soup. I missed this platform and forum and the guests and of course the lovely host Lisa.
Well, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Of course, you dynamic. You a divine connection and you dynamic. So, of
Thank
course,
you.
I had to introduce you right.
Much
All
obliged
right.
and appreciated.
All right, so let's see who else we got in the room with us today. We have Melvin. Good evening, Melvin. Thanks for joining us. And of course, we have Reese. Good evening, Reese. Yes, the distinguished gentleman indeed. Chino is here. All right, Chino. So let's go ahead and get into it, right? We're going to talk, let's get into rejection. Let's go
Mhm.
ahead and continue that conversation because that's really significant. I think most, if not all of us, have experienced some type of like rejection in life, right?
Absolutely.
So let's go ahead and get into it. I kind of dropped a couple jewels last week, but I respect your perspective so much. I'm interested in what you think about all of it. All right, so rejection. Can you share a personal experience where you faced rejection, Chino?
Oh my God, man. Reject, that's part of life, really. And so it's I think for men, sometimes our first experience with rejection can come from a parent just saying no to something.
Hmm.
I think for me, the one I probably remember first is probably like the childhood crush of thinking like, just being influenced by stuff that you saw your uncles do or the advice your uncles gave you, or
Hmm.
I'm a age myself. I grew up when they were still showing reruns of the Little Rascals, and so they were always doing stuff to get Darla's attention and stuff like that. So I mean, from a as a kid, I think the first honestly memory of rejection is having a crush on a young lady and thinking like, oh yeah, cute, I got this, and then seeing her like holding hands with another dude or something like on the playground, right? But the weird thing is I think rejection takes a while to get used to, right? And so I would just say working in an industry where you do a lot of selling yourself, um,
Hmm.
you do a lot of selling somebody else's product or somebody else's platform. You kind of get taught to be prepared to receive the no's because the real focus is on the one yes, right? It's not about the 30 no's that you receive. It really is about that one yes, because that one yes can definitely take you to the next platform or the next level of whatever is that's attached to, whether it's your career or even a relationship, right? Just a woman telling you no just really gets her out of the way, so the one that's coming to tell you yes has that clear path to you. So how you doing? Sorry about that.
Look, that one, no.
Well, we're in the Midwest League reading room, so hey, check us out online, Midwest League reading room. It's a lot going on up here.
Absolutely. Look, and thanks for the tour earlier. I got to get there like in real life, not
Yeah,
just
yeah, we
virtual.
got it. We got some events coming up, so maybe you could do the show from here one day.
Oh, I would love that. That
Yeah,
would be so dope.
we could do a live crowd, and everybody that hops on the stream if they're in the city, we can do the show from here live.
Let's do that. Let's do that. Let's do that. And I like what you said about being rejected by like a woman or whatever, that just means that the right one is on the way. Because that's how I feel about it. Like I don't be in my feelings. Like
Mhm.
if I'm rejected or whatever, whether job, whatever, I just feel like that's an alignment, right? But it's amazing how many people actually, feel a type of way or get in their feelings when they reject it. Like, I mean, I know that I can recall, like, like being out and about, maybe somebody trying to holler at you or whatever, and you
Mhm.
just like, oh no, I'm good, politely or whatever. And sometimes it's met with some real discord, right? So
Yeah.
anyway, I'm glad that you talked about that or whatever.
Yeah.
So have you always been felt this way about rejection, or has it
Absolutely.
changed over time?
No, absolutely not. Definitely changed over time. Definitely learned a lot of lessons in rejection. Right. Like the thing is, like anything, if you get rejected enough, it honestly puts you in a different mind frame where you start thinking proactively, like, what can I do to make sure that I don't have to face rejection, right? I can think of certain situations where, and I wouldn't say it was necessarily rejection, it was not being in a particular situation to get acceptance, right? Right, like acceptance and rejection to me kind of go hand in hand, right? And so sometimes we put ourselves in a position of rejection because we're not even in a position to get a yes to that question. And I think sometimes we forget that we lean rejection, we take rejection and we attach it to the person that's rejecting us so much that sometimes we forget to take self-responsibility. Like, what was it that I didn't do, or what is it that I could have done to where rejection wasn't the result in that situation. And so for me, I would say the biggest lesson in rejection was honestly preparation. So when those opportunities came around, I didn't have to worry about rejection, and I was more focused on, what was going to happen. And not necessarily saying the rejection is always negative, but just taking a more positive approach and spin to the opportunity that exists in front of me, whether that was with a woman or that was something associated with business, or just having a good time with friends. Like, you get rejected enough, you'll start to put together a plan. So when those opportunities come around, you're not looking at rejection in the face. You're more so looking at, I guess, if you want to call it a victory.
Absolutely. Absolutely. That makes sense. That makes sense. Now, let me ask you this. So, how can somebody build like emotional resilience? Because obviously you're resilient, right? Like, what would your advice be to someone who may need to build their emotional resilience when it comes to like handling rejection better?
Yeah, I think one of the things is remembering, like if let's just say the rejection is coming from a woman, remembering why you even approached that woman, or like what was your foundational thought process, right? Like if you wanted to get with this woman and she said no. Well, why did you want to get with her? What was it about her that made you even decide to step to her? Or even again, a business opportunity. Like remembering why you started will help you build the resilience against the no's. Again, it's if you're somebody that's in sales, right? You're trying to sell something. So finding something to lean into, which again, like most of us are taught that, yeah, you're gonna hear some no's, but that fifth time you ask and you get a yes, or again, the 35th time you get a yes, that's what it's for, right? So remembering why you even went through the process of getting the no's or the rejection, and staying focused on what it is that goal is. Again, even if it's if you are a man or a woman that's out here looking for a significant other, and you get no after no after no, you still got to remember why you even jumped in the dating game to put yourself in that position and to get the rejection. So I think you build that resilience by aligning your purpose and aligning your goals, and making sure that they stay that like that red thread is consistent across that path and that journey. Just remembering why you are even out here moving and grooving like that.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Let me ask you this. So, how, because I'm all about a support system. Like I've talked about a support system, having one, um, in various situations, right?
Mhm.
I call them my counsel. So, like when it comes to handling rejection, how important do you think a support system is?
I think it's very important, right? Like I feel like the conversation that we're having right now, we're probably playing somebody's support system right now, right? Like we're giving somebody an alternative way to look at rejection. We're giving somebody an alternative way to look at acceptance. We're giving somebody the courage to really face that rejection head on and look at themselves, right? And so when you start thinking about your support group, your support system, you start thinking about the village that's behind you. One of the things that those villages do is stop. They really help you with the point of self pity that most of us fall into when we get rejected. Woe is me! All of a sudden, you just like, oh, it's me. I'm the only person that gets rejected. Oh, nobody else hears no. Right? Sometimes that support group is everything you need to get back on the horse and move forward with whatever it was that you got rejected from, right? And then also those are outside eyes that can help you make it make sense. Like
Mhm.
we got two we got two eyes because everybody born with one set, right? You can't see everything from every angle. So a
Fact.
good thing about having that support system is being able to go to people who get it from a different angle, who understand it differently. And just think about, sometimes it's the older people that give us that perspective that we never saw.
Mhm.
Sometimes it's the young people that give us a fresh perspective that we never even considered.
That makes sense. That makes
Yeah,
sense.
I love my village. My village is dope.
Oh man, I wouldn't trade them for the world. I would not trade my counsel for the world. All right, it looks like we have a couple of comments. Let's see here. We have Vonda. Hi, Vonda. Thanks for joining Chino and I tonight. Hey, Mark Lee. How are you? All is definitely well. Can't complain. Oh, he's saying hello to you too,
So,
Chino.
brother Mark.
I am that chick. Thank you for joining us tonight. All right, and it looks like Mark has a comment. That support system is vital because sometimes they have ulterior motives, so you have to be careful about authentic support. That's facts. That's facts.
That's a great
Absolutely.
call out.
Ooh, listen, that's facts. Yeah, you definitely want authentic people around you, that has your higher good at heart because that can make a huge difference in how you
Mhm.
move when it comes to rejection or anything else in life. So I
Yeah.
definitely agree with that.
Can I add one more thing? And I and,
Yes,
and
please
you
do.
know I meant to bring this up on a previous episode where I was a guest, right?
Yes.
Another thing about your support group, and I
Hmm.
and I want to put this out here because it's a very controversial thing. You'll hear the term "misery likes company," right?
Yes, absolutely.
So I want to give a positive spin about misery likes company.
Mhm.
It's not that somebody else wants to see you fail. Sometimes the misery likes company is two people being able to relate to the same failure and being able to be support for one another and climb out of that system together. Sometimes you have that misery loves company person
Uh-huh.
in your camp, in your support group. And again, they don't want you to be miserable with them. They just want you to climb out of it with them. Nobody wants to be sad by themselves, but everybody wants to be a winner, right? And so
Mhm.
sometimes a person in your group that may be going through what you're going through is also the person that's going to help you climb up out of what you're going through. Why? Because they're sitting in that miserable place. They know what it feels like. They want to get out and they see you sinking down to it. So they're going to rise with you. So just, keep that in mind sometimes.
Oh, that's a good point. That's a good point. I agree with that. I agree with that. Let's see here. See, Chino, you didn't talk him up. Coach
Reading
Wilson,
rainbow. Make sure y'all check out that documentary, Butterfly in the Sky.
listen, and I need to check it out for real because since Jay is going to harass me every single episode with these butterflies and these rainbows.
I'm with it. I'm all the way with it. I love it.
All right, all right. Oh, hey, Derek. Thanks so much for joining us tonight. We appreciate you taking some time to be with us. And okay, so yeah, all right, all right, Coach Wilson. We done with your shenanigans. Let's see here, Donnie Streety. Thank you for joining us, Donnie. We are happy that you had a chance to log in tonight. All right, boom. So let me ask you this, Chino,
Mhm.
because like fear is a real thing, right? And especially when it comes to rejection, you know. So what would your advice be for someone who has like a deep fear, like a crippling fear of being rejected, whether it's by that man, that woman, that job, life, whatever?
Well, some people say fear isn't real. They'll say fear isn't real. They'll say danger is real, but fear isn't real, right? And
Mhm,
so the thing about fearing rejection is 100% a mental hurdle that you have to get over, right? But the thing is, you have to desire the yes more than you fear the no,
mhm, mhm,
right? And that's what the fear of rejection is. You're so scared to get the no that you can't even focus on the good feeling of the yes. And so I think that's one of the things that can help somebody get over their fear is remembering those moments when you got a yes and how good that made you feel, right? Being able to tap into that emotional connection that you had to a yes, like that's what you're chasing, right? You're not running from the no, you're chasing the yes. And so again, just remembering why you started this process, and again, really, really leaning into the yes, right? Like I
mhm,
think everybody is going to have a fear of rejection at some point, right? I think even in our adult lives now, there are some things that we just don't want to hear a no to. And I
mhm.
think there are some things that we probably still avoid because we feel like, that's a no, right? It might be a $500,000 house you got, but you're looking like, well, the credit is cool and the money is, but I don't, right? And so really that fear it's just it's a matter of finding the balance, or at least shifting the
Hmm.
fear of a no towards the happiness that comes with a yes.
That makes sense. That makes sense. Let's see here. Mark Lee just saw a performer this past weekend talking about fear and how fear can be that monster that you have to conquer, even when you are dealing with anxiety. Absolutely. Absolutely. Hmm. Absolutely.
And
So,
sometimes fear can hurt you, like really, really hurt you, right? Like you have
definitely.
like for anybody that's played sports, one of the common terms is if you play scared, that's how you get hurt, right? And I think
Mm,
sometimes we don't realize how detrimental fear really is to us. Like it's crazy.
absolutely. Absolutely. So, Jay says it's okay to have fear, but you have to be brave. False evidence appears to be real.
Agree.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Um, So let me ask you this, Chino. Are there any like role models that inspired you when it comes to handling rejection?
Um, I, I won't say necessarily inspired, but I'll say I definitely admired. I mean, one of them is my grandmother. I joke and say she's slightly racist, but she was a part of the Us Party back in the days, very Afrocentric. Really, really all about um, seeing Black people overcome, right? And so she was one of the first Black female like supervisors, managers for cons in Cincinnati.
Mhm.
And so being
Wow.
a woman, breaking those strides, like when she used to just tell me some of the horror stories that she went through, right? And you got to think back in let's say 60s and 50s. She's 80 plus years old, so let's probably maybe 60s, 50s. You got to think about rejection was a part of their everyday life as a Black woman, right? Like
Abs-
Black men too, but definitely Black women. Like every day you woke up to rejection, and so considering that she's now 80 plus years old, like your whole life, you've been fighting and pushing and pulling to get to where you are now, right? I'm not saying things didn't get easier, because they definitely got easier for her as they did Black people, period.
mhm.
But her and people like her operated in a time where rejection was an automatic, right? Like we have opportunity now. Like me and you can walk out the door today and not honestly think about rejection in the back of our mind, right? We're not getting ready to go to a gas station to get some gas, and somebody gonna be like, "Nah, you can't get gas. You Black." Still
Right.
happens in some
Right.
places in the country, right?
Mhm.
And so I do have a level of admiration for those people who they lived in fear. Right?
Mhm.
Like we're talking about what we would do if we faced fear. They lived in fear and faced it every day. And their fear was attached to real danger. Right?
Mhm.
A lot of our fears aren't attached to danger. Like it's a good chance that if I try to talk to a girl and she tells me no, I'm gonna be okay. I'm gonna
Right.
wake up
Absolutely.
tomorrow, right? But back then, if you asked for the wrong thing, you could not wake up. You know what I mean? Or you could wake up to the Klan and some hoods in your front yard because you asked the wrong person the wrong question. So I just have it's a multitude of people. I mean, like the Malcolm X's, the Martin Luther Kings, like they really had to walk around every day in fear.
Mhm.
And it was real danger attached to the rejections that they were coming, and they were told no over and over again, and they kept fighting, they kept pushing, they kept poking. And so I do have a level of admiration for them, for what they went through and the type of rejection that was there every day at a consistent level.
That makes sense. That makes sense. But you know what's crazy though? Like, when you spoke about uh how like if you talk to a woman now, more than likely, you will walk away from it. But what's crazy is I've read stories where women have turned down brothers and they end up getting killed, like shot in the club. Like that is just nuts. And it's like, what brings people to that level of dealing with rejection that way? You feel me? Like
Listen,
that's a
I
good one.
I, I don't I feel sorry for women. I felt sorry when I was a party promoter and concert promoter and saw some of the stuff that women had to deal with. I was just in New Orleans and seen a young lady getting harassed because she wasn't interested. I don't understand the psyche
Mm-hmm.
of it at all. Especially because it seems like the dudes who react like that are the dudes who hollering at every other chick that walk by anyway.
Mm-hmm.
And so, it- look, no answers, no excuses. It baffles me. All I can do is again, sisters, I'm sorry. If I'm able to interject, and I've done it plenty of times in the club, you know what I mean, I will. But yeah, I don't. It's crazy to me. Like, and it's one of those things where um and the thing about it, let me rewind because I had a scenario here in Indianapolis, and it was an older guy harassing a young lady, and he
Okay.
was just he was not having it. What you mean, no? And I got enough money to you know what I mean, and I will say some of it is a matter of what certain men have been able to get away with. I remember going to Miami for the first time for spring break back in the day, and I was trying to be respectful. Hey, how you doing, Queen? How you? I wasn't saying Queen, but just really being respectful, trying to be nice and smooth, and it wasn't working. They wasn't going at all. And I watched the dude grab a chick like, "Hey, come here, shorty," da 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 da, da, and it worked. And I was like, "Wow." Right. And so imagine like culturally, when I say culture, I'm not talking about in the sense of a race, but culturally how things are different from city to city, state to state.
Mm-hmm.
We was in the South, and it really threw me off because the South, everything is all about hospitality. All the men down south are so hospitable, and them brothers wasn't being hospitable, and they was from Florida. And I was acting
Ooh.
chicks up, and they was getting all the phone numbers, like physically grabbing them. Come here, and them chicks was, I don't know if they was saying yes out of fear, but it didn't look like they were scared. And so I wonder if some of it is just taught behavior based on how women have reacted to that. And I wonder if some of those women did react with a phone number or some attention out of fear. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, I was at Freaknik and watching chicks act up, and sometimes it would get out of line, and wasn't nobody really stepping up to be like, "Yo, bro, don't do that." I mean, we was young boys in high school with no business down there, with our mind blown, like, "What is this?" But it's amazing the things that women have to go through when they tell a man no.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Absolutely. All right, let's see here. We have some comments. Anjanita, thanks for joining us, Anjanita. It's a doozy when you have anxiety on top of fear. Absolutely. That can mess with your health and everything.
Mhm.
Let's see here. James, thanks for joining us, James. Facing your fear is a moment of growth. Regardless of the type of fear, it's only as strong as your reality allows it to be. That's real. That's real. Let's see here. Mark Lee. Biggest role model is those who refuse to let rejection stop their vision. My grandmother built the first black library in Raleigh, and I am sure folks were slamming doors in her face as she was going. Absolutely. Kudos to your grandmother.
Come
That's
on, man.
amazing.
Again, waking up to rejection, already knowing that 99% of the time you ask, they gonna say no, and you
No,
still keep pushing to make it happen.
that's amazing. Let's see here. In the hood, raising money for what seemed like an impossible goal. Same for my parents who created a radio station in rural North Carolina. Oh my
You just got a
God.
historic bloodline going on right
Woo-wee. Listen. Oh
here.
my
Netflix.
goodness. Right? Absolutely. Okay, let's see here. Tonality. Reeves, I've been in the sales game for over 20 years, and there is a term called eating the frog, which
Mhm.
means getting over the fear of no's in order to get the yes. Definitely, definitely, definitely. Let's see here. All right. We are seeing that now where some of our young people who are going to gunplay because they are rejected. I saw that recently on our on the local bus stop. That's crazy. It's crazy that's where we're at now. This is
Mhm.
where we are. Let's see. Hi, Leah. Thanks for joining us tonight. Thanks for joining us. So Mark says, my brother got rejected by Troy Bayer. He had no idea who she was and was basically like she was just a woman and didn't have to be Sadiddy. I cannot. All right, and last comment. Let's see here. I am that chick. I've been in that situation being called a B because I wasn't interested in that person at the time. Absolutely. It's crazy.
Yeah.
It's just like, and even if you polite with it, you know,
So,
that is
and that might be a situation coming full circle too. How we sit here talking about rejection and
mhm,
people not being able to handle rejection. Like you know, it I definitely had a friend who snapped on a female one time, and we all checked him. But you know the reason he snapped, it wasn't because she said no. It was because she was female number 50 that said no. And I remember telling him, like, bro, you wouldn't be getting all these no's if you wasn't shooting all these shots. Like, I
mhm,
get it. You miss every shot you don't take, but come on.
man.
Once you hit no number 5, it ain't your buddy.
Just get a drink and chill, bro.
Yeah,
Just, just,
enjoy
just
the music, little buddy. Enjoy the music.
But it's just like the root of that because it's a root to it. It's a reason why. It's like, what was you beat up as? I mean, I'm not trying to be funny. Like, were you bullied? Like, were you abused? Did you not get attention as a child? Like, why does it get to the point of craziness?
That's why I was saying, even the earliest rejection of like a little childhood crush sometimes has lasting impacts. And
Mhm,
it's dope if you see what Derek just said, because I was just getting ready to touch on that, how sometimes we have those hidden triggers that are still in our life, like we just haven't realized that they're there. But sometimes when triggers come out, and you still sitting there thinking, like, where did that come from?
mhm,
Right. And the smallest situation that in your mind was never nothing, you now find out, like, yo, that has been a little traumatic for me, right? The same way we had a nostalgic moment, not even trying to be funny, but the same way we had a nostalgic moment with the Reading Rainbow and we had all the jokes and all that, right?
right.
Like it was funny because we all had a nostalgic moment that was attached to that one single thing.
Mhm,
Right. So just think about it. If you can have a nostalgic moment that triggers a happy moment that everybody gets to join in, you can also have a moment that's traumatic that triggers an unhappy reaction. And some of that could be these dudes who pulling pistols because a girl told you no. Like you feel that bad that your boys seeing you get told no. Like, what's the deeper reason that this is bothering you so much?
absolutely, absolutely. So, Tina, let me ask you this before we get to more of these comments. Like, because it's I actually posted in relationship soup today about how to deal with your triggers, right?
Mhm.
Like it was like about I think like from 5 to 7 ways to deal with your triggers. Like, what would your advice be to people who are triggered by fear? Like, what would you suggest to them?
So hopefully they can go a little deeper and it not just be general fear, but fear of a particular thing, right? Like once you identify your triggers, then you can start to work on those,
Hmm. Hmm.
right? It's kind of like how people who ask you, like, what do you not like in a woman? Like, what are your deal breakers, right? Like deal breakers really are triggers. like that's really a trigger. That's oh, she did this. Yeah, I'm done with her. No more phone calls, text, right? And so I think first thing is identifying the trigger. I think also looking at how that trigger makes you act or react, right? Like you being self-conscious of moments when you're in them are a lot harder than when you know certain things trigger you and you can kind of see it coming, right? Like sometimes we have the ability to be like, yeah, I think this conversation is getting ready to, let me pause, let me stop now. Like I have this thing that I say low friction, right?
Uh-huh. Hmm.
And I use low friction anytime I feel like I'm about to be headed towards something that's going to be, I wouldn't say a trigger, but take me out of the zone and the piece that I'm in.
Hmm.
Right.
Hmm.
And it goes for anybody. It could be a girlfriend, mom, daughter, like it don't matter who it is, doctor, lawyer, cop. I'd be like, yo, low friction. Right. That's telling myself, bro, bring yourself back from the situation. Right. Because you can't really control other people as much as we would love to, but you can control yourself and you can learn how to remove yourself from situations when you feel like those triggers are coming. Now, sometimes you just get smacked in the face, right? Hopefully you can catch your breath, calm down and move. And sometimes it ain't even a calm down. Sometimes the trigger is a fear
Hmm.
reaction. But for me, identifying the trigger and trying to make sure that you can remove yourself when you see that coming.
That makes sense. That makes sense. All right, these comments are blowing up. Thank y'all so much for your feedback. Let's see here. So Jay says rejection can only affect you if you are mentally weak. Yeah, I can see that. Now here's Derek's comment right here. I thought I conquered fear of rejection just to find out, thanks to my counselor, there's still a couple of things I've been avoiding due to fear of failure. I was shocked. LOL. That makes sense. That makes sense. I remember one of my mentors, earlier mentors, was like, Lisa, are you really afraid of failure or are you really afraid of success? Because you know what failure feels like, right? Failure,
Mhm.
that's part of life. And that was really an aha moment for me. So anyway, I just thought I'd talk about that. All right. So, hey, Fee. Thanks for joining us tonight. Fee says rejection is a part of life and typically leads to a better opportunity and outcome in the future. I agree with that. I totally agree with that. So Ree says, on the music tip, I got rejected by Timberland, but I leveled up and 1 year later, exactly, I got on with Beat Club. Facts. That's what's up. And that's who made the theme for the show, right? I always try to plug him because, that theme is dope.
Mhm.
Theme is dope. All right, so let's see here. He did say reading. Y'all needs reading rainbows. Like I've been doing good tonight. Chino, I didn't mess up tonight, did I? I've been
Nah,
Gucci,
nah,
right? I've been Gucci tonight.
nah.
He did say reading rainbow. That's like me remembering. All right, let's see here. So Jason says, I actually show women clients how to reject men in a way that not only will he not feel rejected, but will make him want to be your protector. Ooh, Jason, can you share? Look, I almost want you to share it, but I don't want to take away from your sessions. That's dope. I'm gonna have listen, Jason. I'm gonna inbox you, right?
Mhm.
And I want you to come on the show so you can talk about that for real because I think that's a jewel. Even if it means that people have to link up with you for your services, that is dope. Heck, I would like to do that. I try to be soft. I try to stay soft and with rejection. I don't get it out of control. All right, so let's see here. Control the controllables. All right, Jay. All right, that's what's up. That's what's up. So Melvin says, in some cases, the person rejecting you really do not deserve you. That's real. That can be a blessing, right? That's how I look at it. It's a blessing. It's an alignment for real. That means next.
I'm sorry, I'm laughing at Jay.
You know what? You know what? He gets me like these last couple of weeks. He's got me because I'm trying to be like serious in the moment, and then I see a butterfly in my peripheral. Like he's trying to be funny. Like Jay, listen, I'm gonna have you back on here, and I'm gonna get you. Like
Listen, that was a monumental moment, though. I know we were poking fun at you, but again, that was a joyful moment that everybody could join in because of what it really was attached to. Like, even though we were talking about reading, like, and the irony of a matter of weeks later, the Butterfly in the Sky documentary dropping, like, to me, that was just one of those things that was just meant to be, meant to happen that night.
I think so. I mean,
Yeah.
I ain't mad at it.
I
I,
can't let
I
it go. I'm not gonna lie.
listen. He ain't gonna let it go. I ain't gonna never forget it. You feel me? I ain't gonna never forget it. That's
Yeah.
why I be extra, careful. But doing live, you gonna stumble here and there, and I think that's just what makes it authentic.
It wasn't you stumbling. We just had technical difficulties. That's all.
I know. Thank you, Chino.
It's a couple of people, they don't know what that is. It's okay.
Oh yeah, we will have to explain
Mm.
butterfly in the sky for the babies. All right, so let's see here. Let's see here. Coach Boyd says, "I call it killing them softly." Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, absolutely. All right, so Coach Wilson, thanks to me, the butterfly will always be in the sky on the Relationship Soup podcast. You welcome. That's what's up, Jay. That's what's up. It will though. It will. It will. I'm gonna get you back, Jay. So I'm letting all the listeners know I'm gonna get him. I'm gonna get him back.
He owned it.
All right, so let's see here. Where else do we want to go? Because there's some other stuff I do want to talk about, even in the soup. It's been a couple of posts that I do want to talk about. Let's see here. So like, what would you say some steps that people, because some people are wounded by rejection.
Mm-hmm.
So what's some steps that they can take to start that healing process? Like some people really be wounded, like they really be hurt.
Yeah, I mean, I don't have steps. I just know self discovery is really, really important, right? And having a moment with yourself, like when we talk about the rejection of relationships, to me, and I'll just use some of my friends as an example. I got a homeboy. He is the king of shooting his shot, right? For 45, but he does it so confidently. And sometimes he actually put up a good shot. You know what I mean? He might still miss, but he put up a good shot, right? But he is so driven by knowing what it is he likes, right? And so because he knows what he likes, when he sees it, it like he really does. In my opinion, I tell him all the time, you holler at the same female just in a different body, but it literally is the same from head to toe, like the whole platform piece, right? And I remember he used to get down on himself about, oh man, I really wanted this chick. I mean, like just thinking back, way back to middle school. You know what I mean? Like he had the biggest crush on this girl, and he never had a chance, but he still tried,
All right.
right? And so, even he actually went to high school with us. But
Oh, okay. I was
even in
gonna
high
ask you, did I
school,
know him?
yeah, even in high school, he still had the same mentality, man. And um, the thing that I admire about him and his resilience is he never forgot why he was doing X, Y, and Z. And he did the one thing that I was talking about earlier was taking a look at himself and understanding what he was doing to possibly put himself in that position to get all those no's, right? Like he's definitely calmed down on his shot selection now. But the thing that I admire about him is he took a close look at himself and started thinking, okay, what could I do about me that makes me a catch as well versus me just out here fishing, fishing, fishing. You know what I mean? Like, what am I doing to make myself desirable to the women who I'm actually shooting my shot at? And so I think, in dealing with rejection, again, not even bottling it down to the relationship piece, but looking like taking a close look at yourself, right? And acknowledging what it is you're doing or acknowledging what it is you have not done that is leading to the rejection, right? And then also um, in the process of looking at yourself and seeing what you could fix or change or do better for yourself, also looking at what fear has done for you in the past and how it has held you back and identifying those moments where it was my fear that stopped me from getting the job that I wanted, or it was my fear that stopped me from getting the woman that I wanted, and being able to start to get over yourself. Because that's the thing about fear is you're really overcoming yourself, right? So sometimes we have to just figure out a way to get out our own way. And I think a portion of that is taking a closer look at you and what role you play in those rejections. Like, I told people, I remember when Super Bowl came to Indianapolis,
Mm-hmm.
I had one club. I had 30 parties, but I only had one club that was to my access. I said if we ever got Super Bowl again, I would never be in this position again.
Mm-hmm.
Right? We never got Super Bowl again, but we did just have NBA All Star. Now I'm in a totally different. I'm still in the entertainment world, but at a different capacity. But what it did allow me to do was talk to some of my friends and some of my little homies who are now where I was, years ago, and use my experience and my fear and my rejection to put them in a better place to where they all had, venues secured. They were able to make their money, and I was able to partner them with corporate brands that came in sponsoring, giving them money up
Mm-hmm.
front, so they didn't have to worry about ticket sales and things like that afterwards. And so, once you start getting over that fear and start getting over that rejection, it also allows you to now become a tool for other people who are going through that same fear, that same rejection, that same lack of self acceptance and self responsibility that you need to have to improve yourself and ultimately improving your position and opportunity to get the yes when you're constantly getting the no.
Well said. Well stated. Well stated. Let's see here. So Mark said some people try to play the revenge game when they are rejected, and that never works. No, don't do that. Don't lower yourself. Don't lower yourself.
Man, Derek.
You know, I'm a. I saw that. I was trying to keep it straight.
I almost spit water all over the screen. I gotta quit reading ahead. Let me
You know what?
how do I close that?
Well, there's some tabs on the side where you can skip to our private chat, but
yeah, I'm gonna shut it off just for a second.
between him and Jay, they gonna, you know what I'm saying? Like, you really have to master the straight face, because they will have you like laughing and it'll be something really serious. But all right, so Mark says sometimes we are shocked by the shots folks give you. I had a 20-something give me a flirt. It was a great compliment, but it was fun knowing that they were going to give a pleasant tone. That makes sense. That makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
I'll never forget hollering at the Purdue women's b-ball head coach. I did it at all.
Free
Okay.
tickets, baby. Free tickets.
You listen. So Mark says the flip side of your friend is those who are afraid to give it a shot.
Mhm.
I used to be the king of that and can sit and still sometimes fall into that trap. Absolutely. Absolutely. One last one. I was listening to Craig Robinson, the first brother in law under Obama, and he was talking about the lessons he learned from his dad and how he learned to accept rejection and even go for jobs. That's what's up. That's what's up. All right, so let's see here. Are you frozen in time, Chino? Are you
Oh,
frozen?
Emma?
Oh, I thought you was frozen. I'm about to say the Matrix. All right, so let's see here. Where else do I want to go? Because I do want to get to one of the topics in the soup real quick. All right, so let's talk about this for a second, and then we'll have our closing remarks. Okay, so it was this post in the group, Chino. I don't know if you had a chance to see it. I know that it went viral and it was shared with the group. So basically, like probably all of us, most of us have an ex, right? That
I think so.
we all have an ex, probably, right? I know I got a couple of them, right? So in this video, what had happened was, you know, he the brother was at the crib chilling, right? And he had learned that his ex had passed away. Okay. And like he was really in his feelings about it. Like he was really, sad about his ex passing. Like he literally had just gotten the news. Okay. Well, anyway, his woman come in and she's like, "Yo, I'm hungry, whatever, whatever," right? And so she's like, "What's wrong with you?" Yeah, I'm paraphrasing, okay?
Mhm.
But what's wrong with you or whatever? And so he was just kind of like, "Well, my ex passed, and I'm sad about it." And so like she was mad. She was like, "Well, what you getting all emotional for?" You feel me? Like, so she was going in. I ain't about to be sitting looking at you feeling this way or whatever, right? So Chino. And it was a few comments on that post. It was quite a bit, like with people's reactions or whatever. So how do you feel about that from your perspective?
As a man,
Yeah.
ain't no way I'm telling my woman I'm sitting here sad because my ex passed away. Fool,
You ain't gonna say nothing?
nah, what? No. What's wrong with you, babe? Oh, it's just been a long day. I would say, man, he got what I would expect to do if I was in a relationship. Me and you were in a relationship, and you walk in and I'm looking sad, and you like, why you sad? I'm like, babe, I just found out my ex died in a car crash. Oh, that just hurt my little heart. It better be something like behind that, like she got 2 little kids, they ain't got their mama, or I don't know. You can't just be sad because your ex died. Like, not you can't not like publicly. You can't be like
What?
women, y'all can get away with that. But men,
You think we can get away with that?
yeah, y'all can at least get 24 hours of being sad. Cause a dude gonna be like, he gonna most men don't want to be mean to their woman, right? He don't want to come off like he jealous either. Right. But you get like you probably get, I might give you 24 hours. I ain't gonna lie. Like if you wake up the next day and you still crying, hey, we're gonna have a talk. We're gonna have to talk. Because
So,
you know, because a lot of it to me is a matter of the emotion. Like this is the problem.
okay.
The problem, whether it's male or female, is it's going to call into question the emotional connection that you still have with this ex. All
Mhm,
right. There's a lot of factors that could be in there that we probably don't know, right? Like they could have had a kid together. I don't know. You know what I mean? Like there's a lot of reasons why I think being sad about an ex can be justified, but
mhm,
this is on the
mhm,
surface. So I'm just gonna look at it like this is just an ex. Y'all were in a relationship at one point in time. You moved on. You have a wife,
mhm,
right? Your
mhm,
wife is not gonna tolerate you being sad about losing another woman because that's what it looks like. Oh my gosh, she died. I'm never going to see her again.
mhm, mhm, mhm,
Oh wow, she's no longer here, right? So what she's worried about is what emotional attachment do you have to this woman, to where you sitting here in this house with your lovely wife,
mhm,
sad,
mhm,
right? Me as a man, I'm like, now I'm sorry for that, baby. I'm sorry that your ex died of hopefully I know that y'all had like some type of connection or something, like, that's sad, right?
mhm,
We're
mhm.
not having that conversation tomorrow though.
So
Just being real.
you giving sis 24 hours to
Yeah,
get over
yeah. Cause like the shock of like, listen, even though we don't talk about our exes or we might not deal with them, you don't really think about like if this is a person that you actually was in a relationship with, then that means you built a relationship with their mama, their
it.
brother,
Right.
sister, right? And so some of that sadness isn't really how you feel because they're gone. It's more so about how you feel for the people that they left. So I feel like some sadness is justified. I don't feel like 2 days of sadness is justified.
He said you better get over it, sis.
Yeah, like you can be sad not walking around with a sad face. So, I'm gonna give you, and I shouldn't have even said 24. It's probably more like 12. Like if you find out at 8 a.m., I'm gonna need you to be tight by 8 p.m.
Okay. Well, that
You know
makes
what I
sense.
mean? Because I seen the video, I didn't watch it like that, but
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean
Yeah.
he was sitting on the couch, I believe, and
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah. He was. He was.
yeah. Listen, that reaction that he got is what I would expect if I was in a relationship with you or any other woman in this world. I would be shocked if my wife came to me and I'm like, yeah, I just found out my ex got killed, and she gave me a hug. Oh, baby, I'm sorry. I would be scared like she gonna hurt me in my sleep.
So you think that his girl's reaction was justified then?
I mean, I didn't see the reaction. I just feel like he was a brave man to actually answer that question truthfully. Not saying brothers go lie. Just don't. If you got to be sad, go sit in your car. Don't don't do that in the house. Like go over your homeboy house and cry. Like I just don't see. And it could be the women that I've dated and been in relationships with. I've never been married, but
Mhm.
you know, I guess the women I've been in relationships with, I just don't see them being that type of woman that would, pat me on the back, give me a hug, and rub my head. Like,
That makes
and I'm not gonna be the guy tomorrow to be like, "Nigga,"
sense.
you know what I
Two
mean?
hours.
Listen, I don't even think I would have hugged my wife then. I would have been sympathetic verbally. I don't think she would have got any physical sympathy. But again, you got 12. You know what I
12
mean?
hours.
Yeah, it's 12:35. So when we go to bed tonight, I'm gonna need you. We wake up tomorrow. I don't really want to hear nothing about this. You know what I mean?
Like you going to get over it.
Because think about it. He didn't open the door. So now what you think she gonna do when he say, well, her funeral is argument number two.
So choose your battles, basically. Choose your battles.
Yeah. Not beef with my wife over the death of my ex. Nah, bro.
Yeah.
I'm trying to go on a guy's trip next month.
Right? Yeah, that makes sense. You got to work up to that.
Yeah, but I wasn't. Once I realized what you was talking about, I wasn't shocked that she had a negative reaction to him being sad about his wife. I think that that's just a normal reaction of a woman.
Yeah, yeah. Because I would probably be side eyeing like, damn it, damn, that's messed up. But Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm gonna need you to.
Why you crying so hard though? I don't never see
Right,
you cry.
right. You ain't even cry when absolutely. All right, so let's see here. Mark says probably need to keep that to yourself, but at the same time, they are part of your life, and you will feel a certain way about losing someone that was in your life. That's true. Now, true, there are some exes you might celebrate. Listen, look, but Mark, when you're healed, you know what I'm saying,
Yeah.
right? If you healed, you ain't gonna be celebrating like, oh, peace or love and light or whatever. Mm.
Mhm.
Let's see here. My mom still asks about family members of some exes. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I can see that. I mean, because some of your exes, the family was hella cool. It was just them,
Yeah.
right?
And
It
again,
was
you can be sad. You just can't show it. You can't be
yeah,
sitting.
yeah.
Again, go to the car, bro.
You know, and I was reading, right? Because I like to read about the body and like natural herbs and different things like that. And it was talking about like there's a muscle in your back where if you stiffen it, like I guess it's connected to your tear ducts or something. And yeah, so
Yeah.
maybe that's why they'd be like stiffen your back. But I remember reading that. I was like, man,
Yeah.
okay.
So if
All
you
right.
do that, you won't cry.
You won't cry. Like you be to hold them tears in there.
Yeah, I'm gonna go to the car.
Yeah. Look,
Oh my
allergies,
god.
baby. Allergies. Like,
Oh, I can't believe she died. Go back in the house.
right.
Ah, yeah.
Absolutely. Let's see here. Tonality Records. Reese says this crying over X scenario could be a hit song. Leaks. I got the auto tune ready for you. Let's make. Hey, I'm down for it. Look, and you know who I'm trying to sound like, Reese, right? I'm trying to sound like Kelly. So you going to come correct?
Kelly, who
Okay.
Rowland?
Yeah, I want to sound like Kelly.
Oh, okay.
So that's our inside jokes, because see what it is like he wanted me to sing happy birthday to him. And I'm like, no, if I can't sound like Kelly, I ain't gonna do it. Like I love her voice. So I'm just that's the inside thing. All right, so let's see. So Mark says, what if it was unexpected? Like, what if you learned they took their own life or was hit in a car accident?
Don't matter.
Listen, stiffen your back.
Yeah, it don't matter.
Stiffen your back.
They could have died next door. You got 24. 12 to 24.
Look, stiffen your back. Yawn or something like, ooh, I'm tired. And when you yawn, your eyes water a little bit, like, ooh, I'm tired, right?
Yeah. The only scenario I can think of that I would be willing to give past 24 was if you happen to see it happen. But
Okay,
however it happened, if you saw it happen, that's a different type of trauma that you got to deal with. So you might get 48 for that one.
48.
48.
Yeah, I don't really see myself crying. Like, I I I don't dislike my exes or nothing, but I don't really see myself. Let me see. I don't
Yeah,
know.
I'm not
Yeah, if I got a whole husband, you feel me? Like,
and again, I think if it's an ex that you have a child with, I think that's a different dynamic too.
see, I don't have no children,
Yeah.
so
So you ain't got no excuse to be crying.
how many hours would you give me since I ain't got no kids or no exes?
You get 12.
Still 12? Okay.
Yeah.
All right, that's
You
what's
get
up.
12. But listen, be very clear. You get 12 to be sad. You don't get 12 to cry. You be sad. You don't get 12 to cry. Like you better get them. You might have like 60 to 90 minutes. I don't even know if you get that to cry. That's you like crying for 60 minutes is a long time.
That
That's
is a long
that's
time.
snot bubbles and all that. Like
Yeah, that's that
you,
ugly cry. That's that color purple cry.
you can
That's
be
that
sad.
that
You,
sad, sad.
you ain't about to be sitting up here washing off lashes and stuff like that. Like, nah, bro.
Let's see here. Let's see. So, oh, thanks for joining us, Nichelle. While I understand him being sad, I wouldn't be mad about that.
You're
Okay.
a good one. We need more women like you in this world. Seriously.
Yeah. Lisa Kelly, listen, she got a voice. I liked her voice the best. I liked her voice the best out of the three. Well, I like Michelle's voice too. All right, so boom. So let's see here. What do you get if you have a child? My brother has two sons by his ex. How long does he get if something happens to her?
As
You
much
know,
time as he needs because his sadness And grief isn't just it's not about a personal attachment to her. He
Mhm.
has two sons that now have to live their life without a mother. He gets a reminder every time he looks at his son or sons, what they're going through. So he has to go through that with them. So as long as they're sad and as they're fighting to get through that, he's gonna have those moments where he breaks down too.
That makes sense. That makes
Yeah.
sense.
So,
All right. So I think that that's it for tonight. Let's see here. Yeah, I think we hit rejection pretty good. I think we've hit that. So are there anything you want to share with our listeners?
um, I would just say keeping to the theme of this particular topic is as you're dealing with rejection, as you're dealing with fear of rejection, just don't forget to look at yourself and think about not let me back up. Don't forget to look at yourself and do some soul searching and some analyzing and really figure out what role you played in the rejection, right?
Mhm,
Again, there are so many things that we could do. And so when you get that opportunity and you're sitting there thinking about it in hindsight, put it into play, put it into action. Don't let it just be a thought that gets wasted.
makes sense. Makes sense. Well, we have a couple more comments. Reese says, "Hey, Chino, you're right, bro. You better take that long way home and cry.
Yeah.
Listen, hey, go to where all the construction is in the city. You know, yeah, take your time." So let's see here. And so Melvin says, "Great shows. Thank you so much. I appreciate you." All right. So let's see here. Well, great show, Chino. Thanks so much for joining me.
Oh, thank you for
You
letting
know,
me be here. I love being on the show.
absolutely. And we love having you. And
I gotta get me like a nice fancy like you got like lighting. I can see mine go in, go out. I gotta get ready for the next time you invite me to be on the show. Like I need to just get it together.
absolutely. Hey,
Yeah.
no, well, you good though. I mean, if you want to do a production, that's cool. I'm just hoping my internet because, like, I'm gonna call Verizon out. Reese, you better tell Verizon. I'm gonna call them out each time because I be getting the little fuzzies, like the fuzzies or whatever.
Hmm.
Yeah, I need Verizon to get it together in my area because they got a tower down, so it'd be a little fuzzy,
No.
and I need them to get it together. But
Yeah,
anyway,
I be trying to do like all the little blurs and all that. It don't work for me. So I'm just keeping funky and this is what you get.
well, it works. It works. It works. You dynamic, so you don't need a production.
Thank you. I still want to get a light or something. I need to get a little light.
Little light, kind of. I think it's a setting on here where you can set it up for the light. Like it's in the settings. StreamYard got all kind of stuff. Let's see here. Hold on. Let's see. The internet was good tonight. Right on, Reese. Okay, you know what? All right, Verizon. Okay, okay. Yeah, I'm calling it out because, listen, I be paying my bill, so I'm gonna need y'all to get it together. Let's see. Hold on. Hold on. What he says? Derek says, "I don't think I would have said I'm sad because my ex. I had a former fling friend who was unalive by her man. Wow. Couldn't mope in front of my friend.
Nah,
Wow.
man.
Yeah,
Mm,
that's
Let's go to the car. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
where you going? I'm about to run to the gas station real quick. And
Mhm.
then just go to the gas station on the other side of town.
That's Oh yeah, go to the one on Post Road. If you in Avon, go to Post Road.
Nah, we don't want you to get nah, don't go from Avon to Post Road. Now
I mean, you might need some time.
you might get some time too when you don't make it back. Go around the corner. Don't go to the bad side of town.
Well, I guess. Well, I was trying to buy a brother some time. I was
Now
trying
you
to
got
buy.
another question you got to answer. Well, baby, why was you on Post Road? Look, baby, I'm sad. My ex got killed. I just needed to take a ride.
That makes sense. That makes sense.
Lisa done sent y'all to Post Road.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Okay. Don't do it. Don't do it. Just like Chino said.
And
Right.
that's
I'll
my
just.
hood. I grew up in certain place, but still, I, I don't tell people to ride over there.
Yeah, that's true. I was just trying to buy you some time. Go to Geist. Go from Avon to Geist. Okay. Just go to Geist. Right. That's still east, right? Yeah. See, go to Geist. Go to the reservoir or something. So Mark says I need a Google Fiber. Listen, I tell you what, it's not. I don't think it's in my area like that. I don't know.
Mm.
All right, so yeah. Anyway, so we're gonna get out of here. Thanks to my mama. Mama, thank you for listening. I appreciate you. Thanks to all of the listeners tonight, my aunt Anna, everybody. I just try to shout them out individually because they'd be like, I was listening, So that's why I shout
Nothing
them
wrong
out a
with
little
it.
bit.
Support system.
What was that?
I said it's your support system. Got to show them out.
Absolutely, I have to, especially mommy. That's my girl.
Mhm.
So let me do my spiel. So if you are not liking, following, share this video. Tell your friends. Tell a friend. Bring a friend next time. Make sure YouTube Relationship Soup. Period. You got to put the period on there, right? And then on IG's Relationship Soup, come join the group. We still strong. Relationship Soup group. And then if you want to follow me or whatever, you can hit me on Relationship Soup LLC, or you can look me up under my name. You should be able to find me. All right. So with that, my advice always is love yourself. Self-care is everything. And until next week, y'all got to tune in next week. Another dynamic show. But until then, have a wonderful rest of your week. Love yourself. Take care of yourself. Peace.